Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about third program of our DevOps lab. Our program is about working with Gradle, setting up a Gradle project, understanding the build script. Under the script we have the two programming languages, that is Groovy and Kotlin, and also we are going to learn what is a dependency management and task automation. Here are the outcomes of our today's session. We will be learning about setting up a Gradle project, understanding the build script, and then dependency management and task automation. So, before working with a Gradle project, let us understand what is a Gradle. So, Gradle is an open source build automation tool. As we know, automation tool is used to perform the tasks such as compiling the code, running, or building our code automatically. So, if we are going to use automation tool, then we do not have to perform that task manually. This Gradle supports the multiple programming languages like Java, Kotlin, and Groovy. Also, this Gradle is customizable than compared to Maven. Gradle is more customizable. So, here are the steps for setting a Gradle project. First, we need to install Gradle on our system. In our last session, we have seen how to install Gradle on our system. Now, once that folder has been installed in your system, we must open that in a command prompt and execute few of the commands that are required to install the Gradle project on our system. So, Gradle.init is the command that we use to create a Gradle project, and once we have passed this command, we have to choose some of the project types and also the versions. In short, we will be looking how to install that. So, once our Gradle project has been installed, our structure look like this. So, it will have a build.gradle file, setting.gradle, and also we have some of the directories. Now, practically, let us look how to install a Gradle project. Now, go to Start and type File Explorer and come to the folder under which your Gradle project has been installed. So now this is the folder under which I'm going to work with a Gradle. And from here, you should visit a command prompt. Here, select a command prompt and open this folder in your command prompt. Now here, first let us check whether a Gradle is installed in our system or not. For that, we have the command called as Gradle space hyphen version. So as you can see here, Gradle is installed in our system. Now, to create a Gradle project, we have the command called as Gradle init. So now let us pass that command to create a Gradle project. So here you must type it as yes and then hit enter. Here you need to select the type of build to generate. For now, let us keep it as a application. So type 1 and hit enter. Here it is showing a different programming languages, that is Java, Kotlin, Groovy, and all. Now let us go with a Kotlin. So type 2 and hit enter. Here you can see enter the target Java version. So as by default it will take a 21 version. I'm gonna hit enter. Now we should give our project name. Let us give our project name as students and hit enter. Now again here it will ask you to select application structure. I'm going to make it as a simple, so that will be a single application project. Type 1 and hit enter. Now again it is going to ask you for a script DSL. Here DSL stands for the domain specific language. So which programming language you need, even like either a Kotlin or a Groovy. I am going with a Kotlin programming language. So click 1 and hit enter. Now again here it will ask for some frameworks. As in the programming language I have selected for the Kotlin, even here I will go with a Kotlin test framework. So click one and hit enter. Now at the last step, that is generate a build using the new APIs. So here we need to click no and hit enter. So here you can see we have got as a build success. So this shows that a Gradle project has been successfully installed on our system. Now let us open this project in our code editor and look what are the files and folders it contains. For that we have the command called as code space dot. So this will take this project to the default code editor that you have in your system. In my system I have set VS Code as a default code editor, so it will take to that. So previously, as we have seen that once our project has been installed, we will be getting some files like a build gradle.kts. KTS, it is a extension for the Kotlin file. And also here we have the settings.gradle. So this is how our Gradle project look like. Now if you come under this build.gradle.kts, here we have some of the dependencies and also the version of Java that we have installed. So now let us understand what are these dependency management. Let us understand what is a Gradle build script. Gradle build script is nothing but a programming language that you are going to use for your Gradle project. In our case, most of the times we have two different programming languages, that is Groovy and Kotlin. So first let us look how does this Groovy look like, and then followed by we are going to learn how Kotlin programming language look like. In Gradle project by default it is going to take Groovy as its programming language and it has a .gradle extension. Here you can see in the example, here we are going to declare our plugins and dependencies under the single inverted commas. Now let us look how does the Kotlin structure look like. So in this Kotlin, we have .gradle.kts as extension of our file. And in this example, you can see we are going to declare plugins and dependencies in double inverted quotes. So in Groovy, it will be a single inverted quotes, and in the Kotlin, it will be a double inverted quotes. So this can be the syntax difference between how it looks. Now, here we have two different programming languages, but when to use Groovy language and when to use Kotlin language. So you can use Groovy programming language if you want your project to be easier to write but less strict. In Groovy, it emphasizes more on writing a readable code, like any person can understand the code by just reading or looking at it. On the other hand, Kotlin programming language is a more reliable with better IDE support. Now we can conclude that you can use Groovy for simplicity of your project and use Kotlin if your project emphasizes on safety. Finally, we are going to learn about dependency management and task automation in Gradle project. Dependency management. In Gradle, this Gradle project handles the external libraries and module our project requires for execution of our project, and we are going to declare that external libraries in our dependencies block, and also it fetches them from the repository like a Maven Central or JCenter and manages the which version of particular software is required for our Gradle project, and it will resolve that conflicts between the versions or any configurations that our Gradle project needs. it declares the libraries inside the dependencies block, and this Gradle will download them from the repositories. So this Maven central repository has many of the repositories, and from that repository we can choose particular repositories or libraries that we are required for our Gradle project. And also this dependency management will resolve and manages the version conflicts automatically, and also it ensures that all the dependencies are available for build and runtime. Now, here is a task automation. Gradle automatically will perform the repetitive task like computing the code, running the test, or packing applications, and many more. You can define custom task using the Groovy or Kotlin programming language. So here we have the point called as a task can depend on each other to form a workflow. This means that in Gradle, tasks are like steps. One step can depend on another. So when you are performing the last step of your project, it will automatically does all the ones before it in the right order. For example, you are executing the fourth command of your project. At that scenario, it will take all the three before commands and execute it automatically. Also, Gradle decides execution order based on the dependencies. Gradle will figure out the right order to do the task by checking which one needs to be done first.